Welcome back to Uncutnedited. What's going, guys? It's Adam. Once again, it's just Adam. There ain't no champ here tonight. He's still on vacation. But it's alright. The guy who puts the work in is here. He's here to give you that weekly roundup in wrestling. So, want to go? Quiet. Want to go over this week in wrestling. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with something that neither me or Pip really talk about, but it's something that I feel like needed to be talked about this week. And that is Matt Hardy in AEW at the All Out pay-per-view. Okay, so I'm not an all elite wrestling guy. It's not what I watch primarily. I normally just watch WWE. I like it. That's what I've seen. That's what I like. But I will catch an AEW here and there if something's really interesting going on. But when I was, going through Instagram, going through YouTube, and I'm watching Matt Hardy take this insane bump from this piece of scaffolding, I think it was, onto these two tables. One, the tables were misput. And then two, the spot, I don't know if they worked on it or they knew it was going to happen, but him just clunking his head off of the concrete was, it was nuts. It was hard to watch because you understand, like, ooh, and you feel for the man because, like, he's knocked out, he's done, he's KO. Like, the ref did the right thing, called the match right there, said it's done, it's over, okay, we're done. Now, I understand Matt talked to AEW officials and said, no, I want to continue. As an athlete and as someone who has been in that type of situation, I get it. You want to keep going. Like, I fully understand that point of view. But head trauma and head concussions are something that we really shouldn't be playing with. Something crazy like that. You just knocked your head off of, 2 stories on the concrete? Like, Matt, you got 3 kids. I think you got 3 kids, 4 kids or something like that. Like, you got a lot to, like, give besides wrestling. But I digress. I'm happy he's doing okay. We saw him this week on Dynamite. He's doing okay. He's going to take some time to recover. Matt, please take some time to recover, man. You're not the 20-year-old kid. I'm sorry, you're not even the 16-year-old kid that started in WWE. Like, really consider your spot choices. Okay, and then also, on a lighter note of AEW, former WWE United States Champion Rusev is now on AEW as his now given name Miro. I love it. Please let this be a nice thing for Rusev. I really enjoy having Rusev. I love the Rusev Day gimmick he was given at the end of his run. AEW, I may start watching more and more because of you signing Miro. Okay, so going into Raw. Raw, I felt was a little lackluster this week. Like, I watched it and I just didn't. It just really felt like it dragged a lot this week. You had Drew Claymore kicking the hell out of Randy to where he had to be carted off in an ambulance, which was fun. It was really fun to watch, but it's just like, okay, so he kicks you in the head, but we know the kick sends guys out of the game, and all he did was break your jaw. I don't know. There's something I don't feel is right about it. It's the dynamics are not there. I know they're trying to make Drew this super champion, but I don't know. Something to me doesn't feel right. It doesn't make sense. Then you had the Iconics have their single match with each other. It was a 2-minute squash. There's really nothing on Raw for the women's that's interesting. There's really not. and I can't even say the talent's on SmackDown because it's not on SmackDown either. For some reason, the women's roster has no luster to it. There's no, like, you had Bayle and Sasha, and their feud's going to be so incredible. I'll talk about that when I get to SmackDown. But Raw, there's nothing. There really isn't. Like, it feels like they're just kind of floundering. They feel like fish out of water. Like, what do we do? What do we do? Like, I think it's time to either really put behind Bianca Belair, or you need to call up some of the women from NXT. Or you need to bring back Charlotte Flair. Or you need to do something because you're really floundering in the women's division on Raw. It is just not there. The other big news on Raw, the Hurt Business is now 4 members deep. Me and Pip were talking about this. The I Am and the Hurt Business shirt looks great. That shirt WWE did a really good job with. And with that, you have Cedric Alexander now becoming part of the Hurt Business, turning on Ricochet and Apollo Crews. I like it. It feels like it should have happened a couple weeks ago, but it happened. So, good on you guys. I like it. You got a lot of things to do with the Hurt Business. And here you go. Here's another thing I'm talking about. The floundering with the women's division on Raw. You have Mickie James, who just came back, 3 weeks ago? And she's now the number 1 contender. And who is the biggest threat after Mickie James? Natalya and Lana? What? Like, it's where is this great women's division that was built a couple years ago with the Women's Revolution? They feel like they're just floundering in that division. But they had a tag match, Asuka and Mickie versus the Boat, Natalya and Lana. Another short match, just I really wasn't a whole lot on Raw. Retribution came out, they did a promo. Really wasn't nothing. Like, Raw feels like you're floundering, guys. The Riot Squad take on I'm sorry, I know I'm looking over to the side here. I'm going over my notes. You have Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax versus the Riot Squad, and whatever. The only thing they got going from is the Dominic Mysterio thing with the family, like beating up Murphy. But then now that feels like it's over because Rollins is probably going to go on vacation. Raw really floundered this week. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give Raw like a 3. Like a 3. Just, it wasn't, there's nothing there this week. Real quick, and then on NXT, I don't cover NXT that often, but NXT had the now 2-time champion Finn Balor win the title. I'm not watching it. It was there. Then we move into SmackDown. SmackDown actually feels like it's got different stories going on. And it actually feels like it's got like a lot going on. So I'm going to run down my notes because I just finished watching SmackDown. Roman comes out with Paul Heyman to deliver that promo. It was really interesting, really quick. Jay comes out. They do a tag match versus Baron Corbin and Sheamus. That was a really good match at the end of the night. I really like how Roman is literally just doing on Roman's time. I'll show up when I want to fight. I'll do what I want to do. I am the big dog. I like it. Like, I know people are really pissed that he won the title, but you know what? This is what we wanted. We wanted heel Roman Reigns. And I like that heel Roman Reigns is just like, no, I'll fight when I feel like it. Even if it's with my cousin. So, then you had Jeff Hardy versus AJ Styles for the IC title. It was a pretty entertaining match up until the point where Sami Zayn came out, beat up AJ Styles, and he's saying, I'm the real champ, I'm the real champ, I'm the real champ. It's some interesting that's going on. Then mysteriously you had Jeff just pass out on the ramp going up. Like, what happened there? And they say it was by dehydration. Huh? It was very interesting. I wonder where they're gonna go with that. It seems like it's gonna lead into a bigger story. Then you got Lucha House Party versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. That was a cluster of a match because the Street Profits came in before the commercial break, before they went into the ring, and we're like, oh, we're here, we want to see what's going on. And they get interrupted by the Street Profits because they're having a big party in the back. Like, it was fun. It was really fun. But it was like, what? Like, the tag team division on SmackDown and Raw are not good. They need to really work on that. But Lucha House Party pulls out the win. Okay, then we have... So I'm going to skip over the Bayley because I want to get to that at the end of this. But I'm going to go to the Lacey Evans versus Tamina versus Cross versus Bliss match. It felt like it was thrown together. Bayley needed someone to face at Clash of Champions, so they were just like, let's throw the 4 women we have into the ring and see what happens. And of course, Nikki Cross wins the match because she's the only viable person at the current moment to really face Bayley. You would think that maybe Alexa gets it, but she's got this other thing going on with the Fiend, and her doing the Sister Abigail was really good to watch. I hope they really don't fly under WWE. That's got to be something really interesting. Then you get the Firefly Funhouse match with now they introduce. I had to write it down because it was just too funny. Wally Walrus, who's basically a Paul Heyman walrus. I can't really explain it. It's something you need to watch. It was really fun. Like, go watch that segment. It's really fun. Okay, so I was watching a bunch of content this week about Otis and Morrison stealing the briefcase, and it was just full of lunch meat or like a bunch of random stuff in a sandwich. Like, it's funny. WWE wrestling is supposed to be fun. So this is their comedy part of it. So relax, Ollie Davis and Wrestle Talk. Like, calm down. It's supposed to be fun. But this week he seals the lunch pail this week, and it's an Eden apple. And in the briefcase, it's the lunch pail with the contract. It's funny to me. It's good slapstick humor. Really funny. And then, of course, you have the main event where Roman comes in halfway through the match, and he does his thing. And him and Jay win the match. Old Champion is calling me. He can wait. Then we had Bayley give her promo and saying how it was Sasha's fault and she was keeping Sasha close to turn on her. Really good. I like that they're keeping Bayley such a kind of F you heel. Like, you turn on your best friend kind of thing. That's probably the best story going on right now in WWE. It's really good. I like the way they're doing it. Bayley is a credible, I hate you type of person. Like, good job, WWE. You're doing a really good job with that story. I wish you could do other stories the same way. Guys, I don't have much more. I'll come back next week for another weekly roundup. I'm going to try to maybe do a video later this week. You're going to see some things be a little more sporadic from us, as now things have changed for us. Personally, we're still going to try to pump out content. I'm going to try to pump out a weekly video for you guys about what's going on in wrestling, our feelings and everything. You're still going to get a predictions video, and you're still going to get a review to the pay-per-views. But guys, thank you very much. I also don't want to be dismissing this and say this day today, September 11th, 2020, 19 years ago, we had the extreme tragedy of the Twin Towers being attacked in an act of terrorism on our country. And I just want to say, God bless to the people who have survived and who are still with us, to the ones who have fallen and who are resting now. I hope we can grow as a country very close and have a lot of pride. And it was something that I can remember as a young kid where I was at and how much it affected me and gave me so much pride as an American to be a part of this country and this great country of ours. So I know the world right now or our country is very much in shambles, but I hope we can take the time to say thank you to the people who are risking their lives every day. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day. I hope you're all staying safe. Have a good one.